to talk Keepsake by Amy Oliveira, which is performed in dual narration by Vanessa Vasquez and Noah B. Perez. So it's produced by Audio and Colour, and when they contacted me with the promo information and said, if you want to listen to it, let us know. I really loved this book. I wasn't sure going in because everybody was kind of new for me, but I read the blurb and was like, okay, I love me an age gap. Let's go. And it did not disappoint. It did not. We have Logan, who I can't remember how old she is, but we have Logan, who has become the guardian of 3 children. A 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 15-year-old. I think, could be mistaken on the middle child's age, but I want to say she's 6-ish. And each of them is handling the loss of their parents in different ways. Noah, he's 15. He wants to be the guardian. He wants to protect his siblings. Then you have the middle child, who is adjusting, but the slightest thing is causing a big explosion because she can't handle those feelings. And then you have the youngest, who has reverted back into themselves and kind of gone back to a kind of baby state where they can do things but are choosing not to, and in essence giving their older siblings and their guardians something to focus on kind of like them, and seeing them change and progress. The one that's most anti this guardian is the oldest, and that moment when you feel that switch flip, it was done so well, and I cannot praise the author enough for how they didn't just do a quick like, yep, everyone's fine now, we're sorted. Because, you know, trauma doesn't work that way. Healing doesn't work that way. And it was so good to have that kind of realism in it. And through all this, with the kids, you have Logan and Alvaro, who are kind of trying to fight the pull that they're feeling towards one another, because you know they've got enough to go on, and there's a 16-year age gap. He is the older brother of her best friend, who has, you know, passed away, and he has a lot of guilt of not knowing what was going on with his sister. She has guilt for not being a part of his sister's life, and so it's more of a kind of a slow burn to begin with, which makes perfect sense to the story. And then as it progresses, you see them not be able to fight that anymore. And once they stop fighting, chef's kiss, it is so good. And, you know, there are certain things that happen, and you know, we have the black moment, which was like, no, why? Like, need them together. And then of course we have the end parts where you see them coming together and having that understanding, and he thinks it's one thing and she's just like, dude, we're together. We're in this together. Let's go. And I just loved that moment. It was like, yes. And I loved the epilogue. So the epilogue does go a little bit further in time, and it's one of the things that I love most. We see that they're still together, that their relationship progressed, and also the development with the children and how that looks now. And it was just, I loved Vanessa and Noah in this. I think they were paired beautifully. Their voices really complemented one another, and not only that, but they fit with the characters. Vanessa fit with this well-to-do, kind of business-minded woman who was open and happy and kind of getting her dream of becoming a mother, even though it's not the way that she ever intended. And then you have Noah, who is this older. There's a 16-year age gap between the characters. So you have Noah coming in with this deep, timber and more gruff, and because the characters also are like an MMA fighter, boxer, you know. Know me with details, but and he's, you know, he's kind of reluctant. He carries a lot of guilt, and that really shone through in the performance. And I think in the scenes where, you know, we have them together, I think both Vanessa and Noah did an excellent job of voicing the other gender. And, you know, there were times when I was sat there and I was like, keep going, Vanessa, keep going. Like, I'm here for it. Like, you want to take over from Noah for a minute? And likewise, there were times when I was like, oh, can we have this scene from Noah? Like, you know? And so I thought they did a superb job. And I'm not sure that I've done them before. I'm 99.9% sure I've never heard Vanessa before, but I feel like I might have done a Noah book, but he may not have been like the main voice. He may have been like a cameo or something, but I would definitely be doing more from both of them because I really was captivated by their performances. Now, the book does have triggering content. If you do have concerns, please reach out or check the ebook maybe. I'm not sure whether the book does have content warnings, but I will list some up here. I will also have them listed on Storygraph so that you can go check that out, because I don't want anybody to go in and be triggered by some of this content. But I will say it's handled very sensitively and it makes perfect sense to the story. It's not kind of just been thrown in there, and it also shows healing through the triggering content, through the trauma that they're all experiencing. Yeah, this is a definite must listen.